Damn him. Damn you, Hank. Tonight is too important. He just has to want me.
How could you understand? You were just a child.
Understood what?
Marcello, you told me you didn't remember your
CC,
parents.
is everything all right?
Yes.
You haven't forgotten about our dinner date, have you?
Not tonight, Gina.
Gina, you're not wanted here.
Eden?
I'm a member of the family too, Eden.
Gina, please. I'll speak to you when we're finished here.
There's the voice that I remember. Commanding, seniorial, gruff. Of course I remember my parents, Sophia. I remember the clothes that they wore and the shoes that they had on, and I even remember my father's pipe. I could draw it for you.
Your parents were good people, Hans.
Never call me that again.
What happened to them, Marcello?
After the raid at Dieppe, I flew a reconnaissance behind enemy lines, as far as Essen, until 2 German fighters caught up with me. I turned around, but they were too fast. And I tried to save the film, but they had shot the apparatus all to hell, so I had to bail out without it. And my parachute drifted into a grove of trees at the edge of a farm. I got pretty banged up. Frau Riker found me. And she and her husband took me back to their farmhouse into the cellar and took care of me.
My father had me climb up and cut down your parachute so that no one would know. And he wanted to burn it, but my mother said no, and she cut it into long strips and then had me take it to the sisters so they could make curtains for the children.
I wanted to leave right away, but they wouldn't let me until I was well enough. I told them, you're foolish, that everyone saw my plane get shot down, and the Germans would be looking for me. Maybe they thought that I still had the film. I don't know. Anyway, the next afternoon, while their son was bringing me food, we heard a knock at the door, and then we heard Frau Riker's voice answer. Her husband Joseph was already out in the garden. We could see him through the window when they brought Frau Riker out. And then they came back into the house to search it, and I slipped into a root cellar behind a hidden door. And the boy was with me.
You dragged me, your dirty hand muffling my mouth. I was as much of a prisoner as they were.
It went on for hours. They brought the Rikers inside the house.
I could hear my mother screaming.
And they took them outside.
Against the window. I hoped that they would hear me, that they could see me.
They wouldn't talk, and then finally...
Stop it! Stop it!
I had to survive.
Why? Why was your life any more important than theirs?
Because I knew too much. If the Germans had found out...
Then they would have tortured you, and you could have kept silent just the way they did.
But I had to take the information back.
It was gone. You said so yourself.
I knew what I saw, Hans.
And did you report it? Did you tell them what you saw? The tanks and the troops and the artillery? And 2 honest people being tortured and murdered while their son looked on while being held in the grip of your hands? Did you tell them that? No.
So I told him I would come back for him.
Daddy, you tried to.
I told him that I would learn to be a father.
He came back for you instead.
And I thought it was because of you.
So did I.
I don't mean now. I know he's been in Santa Barbara once. At least that I know. It was 16 years ago.
What?
If he wanted to see you, he could have seen you then.
Marcello came here?
I didn't know, because I didn't remember, but apparently, the day that I almost drowned, it was Marcello who rescued me. Eden found out somehow.
Well, I didn't trust him, Daddy, so I did checking on him, and I wasn't sure if I should say anything until Bermuda, when I found your old ID tags from the service in his hotel room.
And you know nothing about this, Sophia?
No. No, I didn't. I knew that he resented you, but I didn't know why. I thought maybe it's because he was jealous because I still had so... He never said.
I can see why now.
Why? What do you mean, Kelly?
Why he was the only one who understood. How I felt when I lost Joe. And when I thought I'd lost you. I knew it wasn't my fault deep down inside. And he knew that because he felt the same way.
They would have killed us both if I'd let the boy go. And his parents for hiding me. I knew there was nothing I could do for them.
CC, we're not questioning what you did.
Of course not, Daddy.
Daddy, the soldiers killed them. You didn't.
For 40 years I've waited to hear that. For someone to know, to forgive me. But it's too much a part of me. To be cut out and thrown away. The words don't mean anything now. I made a vow to you then. To the children I knew I would have someday. That you would never want for a home or a father.
And Brandon. He must be about the same age Marcello was then. And fair-haired and blue-eyed. How you must have felt when you first saw Brandon.
When he walked in this house, I knew I would never let him go.
And you took a vow. Never to be weak or wrong again.
To never ever be less of a man.
And so you became more, didn't you? Stronger and surer and harder. I knew. I don't know how I knew, but I sensed it. And I loved you more for it. Because your need was... It was as deep as the children's when they'd cry out to me in the night. Or during the day when they'd be frightened of something and they'd come to me. But you couldn't come to me. And I had to find the right time to come to you. Sometimes I didn't, did I?
Well, what do you think Marcello is going to do? Do you think he's going to try to hurt Daddy? You know him better than we do.
I thought I did until today.
I will not feel it. I will not hear it again. I will not go mad. That day is gone. That boy is gone. The blood is gone. Millions have been born, and millions have died, and the earth has turned 10,000 times through 10,000 nights. The light of that day has reached the farthest stars. The sounds, the voices, have all become particles and scattered into space. I am here. I am myself. I have always been, and I will always be alone. He cannot hurt me now.